You guys doing out there? I'm your friend here, Doug Best, man. This is what it looks like when you've been working for 13, 14 hours a day. I'm working on my apartment project. Today is May 2nd, one day after my senorita's birthday. I went to get her earlier after I got home from work. You guys see, I just coming home from my apartment project. Man, it's a lot of work over there. She has a headache. And so I was supposed to be here at 7, but I got here a little late. But guys, I just want to chit chat with you for just a few minutes and just make sure that I stay in the people in the forefront of everybody's mind. How y'all doing out there? I want to make sure everybody tune in. Everybody tune in and just tune in and say something to me if you can. I'm gonna go here and see what we got. Okay, so we got completed the checklist. We're gonna see if we can get some people to tune in with me. Go to the dashboard. Go to the dashboard and here. Go up front here. I'm just trying to just see if we can get some people to comment with me. I seen my main man, Gerald Parks. He sent me a text early and said, man, let's go get on the show and we could chop it up about anything you want to chop it up about. But I've been watching a lot of podcasts. I just got through watching Michelle Obama and her brother Craig. I got her up here on this thing right here. I'm going to see if we can. I should have had it hooked up. She doing where them fans at? I need to get somebody on the Doug Best show. Oh, she kind of smooth with that thing, though, Michelle Obama. But, guys, you know what I want to talk to you about tonight? I'm hoping we can get some people to tune in with me and, just talk to me. What I want to talk to you about tonight is the tariffs. President Obama, President Trump tariffs, his fight with China, actually his fight almost with everybody in the world. And I'm going to see if I could break down the word tariff so everybody can understand it. We're going to make it so simple. This is a part of, being financially literate. So what is a tariff? A tariff is really another form of a tax. So just look at it like this. Just look at it like this. With America basically don't make too much of nothing. And we got to be honest, guys, on the stuff that America do make, what America do make compared to what the other countries make, Toyota from Japan, Kia from China. When you guys go look around, and you just go anywhere in Walmart, go to Sears, go to Macy's, go online, wherever you go. Just be honest with each other. America don't make that much of nothing. What America does, America is a consumer nation. And what does that mean? I'm going to explain what a tariff is in the most simplest possible way where a person like me and you could really understand it. So in China, if you got a good job, you make $3.65 an hour. And let that sink in for a second. A good job. You make $3.65 an hour. The people that work for me, the lowest paid person that works for me, he makes $15, $16 an hour. So that means that if you're in China and you got a good paying job, and you're in America, you got a minimum wage job for $15, $16 an hour. So that means that then China has nearly 2.5 billion people, and America has a little over 300 million people. So what does that mean? That means that China is about nearly 8 or 9 times bigger than America, and they got all those people that's working for slave wages. And so this is what happens. In China has a surplus of everything. You see stuff like this right here? This is made in China for pennies on a dollar. You see something like this right here? This is made in China for pennies on a dollar. You see these headphones that I got right here? They made in China for pennies on a dollar. So what China is able to do, China is able to make consumer goods so cheap. We're talking about tariffs right now. This is financial literacy. You're on the Doug Best Show. And guys, sometimes when I get on here, I might have a guest. And sometimes, we just going to chit chat. I just want to chit chat with my friends, for 15, 20 minutes. And if somebody's out there and you want to tune in, I'm going to upload it to YouTube. And, this is how the Doug Best Show is going to be. But we're talking about China. So America buys everything. China sells everything. So what has Trump did? Trump has created a tariff, a 145% tariff. So that means if you was buying something for $100 normally, and then Trump put a 145% tariff on it, when it normally would cost $100, now it's going to cost $245 from China. But so the extra $145 is like a tax that goes straight to the American government. But who in their right mind would pay the American government $145 when America needs the goods that China is selling to them? So this is how they fight now, with tariffs as opposed to fighting with weaponry. So what would China do? China, so America, President Trump, he has created a wedge between Mexico and Canada. This is financial literacy, guys. You're on the Doug Best Show, and I'm teaching you economics, the basics, fundamentals of entrepreneurship, financial literacy, and economics. So if China sells anything directly to America, and they would have to pay an additional 145% tariff, what would China do? China is going to create an alliance with Canada that's got a base rate of a tariff of 10%. So if they sold it to Canada, and the tariff is going to be an additional 10%, they saved 135% because President Trump in America has created a rift with Canada. So China sells the stuff to Canada, and Canada sells it to America for a 10% bonus, a raise in the price, or they sell it to Mexico. So the intentions of what President Trump is trying to do is probably is good and noble, but China is so big, they can sell everything to Mexico and sell everything to Canada, and in Mexico, I'll sell everything to America, and Canada sell everything to America, and nothing happens to China because America needs the goods and China needs to sell the goods. I don't know how this is going to work out. But if we just listen to the news day and night, all day, all the media, they use clickbait all day talking about different things. And if we listen to them too much, we'll be brain dead because they fear-mongering to us, and we don't really know what's real. But as I look around and I see people moving, I go to the store, yeah, sure, the prices have went up. But they haven't went up astronomically like the media is saying that they were or they going to do. I'm not sure. But if I was in the retail business right now, I would be smart enough. I'd take all my extra cash. I'm talking about to the bag now. My son, so fresh dinero. I take all my extra cash, and go to whoever the wholesaler is right now and get all the inventory that I can, just in case that the prices are going to raise, and they are going to raise. So what is a tariff? A tariff is an additional tax that one government or one country puts on another country that's importing goods into their country. So what do that do? It does two things. It gives more money to the government. It's a tax. So the government needs the tax money. If the country that's importing the goods to America, if they decide to go along with the program. But it do a second thing. You could use that as a strategy to say, if you don't allow me to sell my goods in your country, then I'm going to impose a tariff on the materials and the supplies and the goods that you bring to America. That's what they're doing. And so when you look around, you see the cars, the Toyotas, the Nissans, those are from Japan and China. The Kia, those are from Japan and China. But when you go to those other countries, you don't see no Cadillacs. Oh, there are very few. When we went to France, when we went to Italy last year, I seen maybe just a few very small, the Ford Escorts over there. They mostly got Fiats, Peugeots. Not too many American cars in them other countries, but the other countries sell everything over here. We see the Mercedes Benz, we see the BMWs, we see all those different cars coming from those other countries, but America's not selling as many cars over in those other countries. When I go to Mexico, I see very, very, very few American cars over there. I see a lot of old cars and trucks, but a lot of the car parts and different things that we use on our cars now, it comes from Mexico because they got the factories over there. That's what the NAFTA treaty is all about for Mexico and Canada. They make the cheap parts, they sell them to America, and then they take. Sometimes they'll assemble the cars over there, and sometimes they'll ship the parts over here, and America assemble everything here. But for all intents and purposes, America makes very little of anything, guys. And so if you work for General Motors and you make $3.65 in China, and you work for General Motors and you're making $57 an hour, what is that going to do to the price of a car, or a truck, or Ford? The price is going to go up. Ford Motor Company is one of the biggest companies in the world, but in those other countries, nobody's going to pay no $100,000, $80,000 for a Ford truck when you can get another truck in those countries for, $25,000, $30,000. This is what the tariff is all about. I can understand, what this is the second part or third part, what the tariff does. If they make the prices of the foreign cars or foreign goods so high, then the people in America would be thinking in their mind, well, maybe we should buy American, things made in America. But the American prices are so high. The American prices are so high, and the president, even though I think his intentions are noble, his intentions are noble, but it seems like everything might be backfiring on him. We're going to see. He said that we're in a transitional phase right now. Transitional phase means that we trying to stop what's been going on in the past and transition to a new order or priority of things. I can understand what he's saying about with China. So what happens when you go to China? We're going to be going to Tokyo, Japan in a few weeks. So what happens when you go to China? Apple Computer goes to China. And when you go to China, all the copyrights that you might have, copyright infringement rights that you might have in America, that don't work in China. When you go to China and then you want to build the batteries for the Tesla cars, all that information that you're using to build the batteries, now it becomes a part of China's infrastructure. They got all your secrets. You go and you build Apple computers in China, all that information in America, they got copyright infringement rights. But in China steals everything, if steal is the correct word. So why are we talking about this today? We see it on TV all the time. I just want to get on here so you could just see your brother, Doug Best, on the Doug Best Show, talking about something and I want to try to make it so simple that all my friends out there could see it and you can understand it. And then, guys, if you can, my man Marvin Anderson says, I thought you was on vacation. No, we start on the vacation on 12. Yeah, Big Marvin, I see you, Senorita. I hope you're feeling better. I know you had a headache. I just want to get on the show, man, and just talk to the people, to my friends out there, and just let you guys know, man. Oftentimes, when you see all these pundits, these big shots on TV, and, they got these big titles, who are they really? I mean, I guess they know what they're talking about, but in the real world, I've been at work all day. You see this? This is this is from me painting and me doing uh, caulking, caulking, and we've been doing drywall all day long. So I just want you to know I'm your brother. I'm right here. And then so you see me, and oftentimes people think because you see those people on CNN, they are they here in the real world? Do you bump into them, in Walmart? Do you be going down the street and at the stoplight you see him? But you see your brother Doug, and we talking about financial and economic literacy right now, the basics. So oftentimes when you see all this stuff on the news, you got to stop and just use your common sense. Sure, what Trump is doing, we see him all the time. They make it seem like, he's a horrible guy. I'm not sure that he's any worse than none of the other presidents, because the difference is right now with the social medias and the fake news and the good news, how do we know what to believe? We don't know what to believe, so we just got to keep using our good common sense. So that's just a thought of mine about tariffs. Marv, I wonder what you think about out there about the tariff, if anybody's out there. Second thing I want to talk about, success. Financial literacy is success is a part of financial literacy. And I want you guys to know success. I'm successful. And I think about that today. I was at work today, man, this guy, Jason, we working for like 12 hours. He had been working for me previously a few days, but he was working slow. But today, I'm the boss. I'm on the job with him. So it's going to be extremely hard to match my energy level. I don't care whatever it is, because a lot of people don't know I'm successful, and I'm a perfectionist, and I'm a workaholic. And I stay so focused on whatever I'm doing. That's why I be successful. But I'm going to tell you guys something real fast about success. So when we see Deion Sanders prime time, and you see his son, they successful. But this is the thing, when you see the president, Donald Trump, he's successful. And then, when you see Jay-Z, he's successful. And when you see Michelle Obama and her brother Craig on their podcast, they successful. But let me tell you what happened about success and riches and getting a lot of money. So it's real difficult when you talk about this kind of stuff. And I was vacillating in my mind, how do I articulate it, when I was studying in my mind about what to talk about on the Doug Best Show tonight. Oftentimes, when you become successful, I want you to just think about this. If you got a job downtown and you're successful, you're making $80,000, $90,000 a year. And you grew up wherever you grew up, just say you grew up in the hood. You become a prisoner of your success. What do I mean about that? Sometimes, you might see some of the guys that you grew up with, you play football with, play basketball with, you know each other from junior high, high school, you might have went to city college together. But now you can't associate with them people because, you got to conduct yourself in a certain manner at all times, because now you're successful. So now you compartmentalize in a certain prison, an intellectual and mental prison, and society says that you cannot associate with them people. So with success is a great thing too, but oftentimes what they don't ever talk about, Jay-Z and Beyonce, they got millions and millions, and somebody say billions of dollars, but they in a prison, guys. They literally in a prison, because they can't go out and associate with the average person for a multitude of reasons. If they go to the wrong place, they might get kidnapped, robbed, or killed. And plus, once you get in a certain position, you in a straitjacket. You can't do what you want to do. Shannon Sharp is an example. I was thinking about this today. I don't know if nobody's out there with me, but I'm just chit-chatting with my people a little bit on the Doug Best Show. We talk about a variety of topics. I'm not going to stay long. But once you get a certain degree of success, you cannot do what you normally do no more, because now you become a prisoner to that success. Money. And so you do, just say you get $1 million, $10 million, or $5 million. You can never, ever, ever have real friends no more. Why? Because they see you as a big old juicy steak, baby. Well done. And put the potatoes on the side. And I want some sour cream. And you know what? I think I want some blue cheese dressing on that salad. That's what happens when you get the money. You become a prisoner to that success. And then so you see a lot of them guys like a primetime son, Shadir Sanders. He's a prisoner to his success, but he didn't grew up in that success so long. What we seeing is in him, that's probably who he really is. I think that he actually has the physical talents and attributes to do what he's supposed to do. They don't have him in a straitjacket because he seemed like he's one of them rare individuals that grew up rich. And his daddy instilled all the good attributes, and his mom, and all his little support group instilled all the good attributes in him. So even though he is in a prison, he seemed to be handling it well. Yeah, guys, I'm your friend here on the Doug Best Show. If I need some guests to come be on the show, and let's see if we got anybody tuning in. I had my brother Marvin Anderson tune in, and I had my Senorita tune in. I just wanted to get on here and just tell everybody thank you. I've been getting a lot of subscribers everywhere I go. I keep this thing with me everywhere I go. I was just in a restaurant a few minutes ago, and I pulled this out. I says, I'm Doug. I got a podcast. And I need subscribers. And the guy was looking at me, and I said, don't worry about it. I'm paying for his bill. He subscribed. He subscribed. We was down there at the Chinese Garden, Chinese restaurant right down the street. Hey, guys, I'm your friend Doug. We on the Doug Best Show. I just want to reach out to everybody and just keep putting positive content out on the airways. And in a few weeks, we're going to be traveling around the world. I just hope I got to find a way that I could break that invisible ceiling and find a way. I got to find a way to break through where I could get thousands and hundreds of thousands of subscribers. I guess that's what they call going viral, but I need to go viral every time that I get on the airway. And somebody said that, I think it was a few weeks ago, somebody said you got to be consistent. If you're going to be on there every Friday at 7 o'clock, be on there every Friday at 7 o'clock. And, just keep talking about, bread and butter issues, the things that people talk about in their real life. So what is the Doug Best Show? Real life stuff. The tariffs, everybody's talking about it. Shadur Sanders, that's what people are talking about. And the fear-mongering that we see on TV all the time and the news about the tariffs and what's going to happen with the recession, those kind of things, everyday things in our life. I'm Doug Best. I'm your friend. This is the Doug Best Show, and I want to say that I really, really appreciate everybody for allowing me to spend a few minutes with you and be in your life and be in your mind. I'm not worried about it. Tonight, when my Senorita said that she didn't want to come, I understand she got a headache, but I was just thinking in my mind, she's my woman. She's with me. I'm with her. But this is my dream. The Doug Best Show is my dream. So no matter what, if I work 15 hours, 14 hours a day on the Doug Best apartment project, which I did, and did I have enough time to go home and shave and put on a suit? No, I didn't. But I still decided to do what I was supposed to do, come and spend a few minutes with my friends. I'm Doug. I'm your friend. And this is the Doug Best Show. I appreciate everybody. I want you guys to tune in. Every Friday, we'll start traveling. I don't care where we go in the world. I'm going to get on this thing, and I'm going to try to add some value in your life. Why? A lot of places that we're going to go, a lot of people might not be able to go, but it's going to be just like you right there. I swear on my life, it's going to be just like you right there. So if we go to a Japanese restaurant up there, and I'm going to ask the people, where the brothers at? And we might run into some Japanese brothers or black people or Mexican people over there in Tokyo, Japan. But I'm your friend, guys. I'm Doug Best. I'm your friend. I'm happy that the few people that tuned in tonight, tune in. I need everybody, if you get a chance, go to YouTube, type in the Doug Best Show, and subscribe. It's always my joy and my pleasure to come and get on the air and chit-chat with you for a little while. I'm your friend, baby. I'm Dougie. I'll talk to you guys soon. Always with love and always with respect. I'm Doug Best. This is the Doug Best Show. I'll see you guys soon. Thanks.